Hello guys, so you're welcome one more time to my YouTube channel, and in this tutorial we will look at how you can create beautiful custom buttons for your um, Power BI project. All right, so you can see I have two buttons already set out for me here, and each of the buttons they have pictures. This first one has a star and the second has a diamond. And something else you'll notice is when I hover my cursor on each of the button, it reacts. So you can see for this, it turns to a beautiful curve rectangle, and when I click on that, I have the curve becomes even more. All right, now for the second button, when I hover my mouse, I have this parallelogram, and when I click on it, it becomes this beautiful curve rectangle. So let's see how we can design something like this. And so I'll give you the template on how to create to develop something even better. All right, so let's do this. Let us create a new page by just clicking on this plus icon, and we have a new page, so we can start designing. All right, so to create your button, I'm going to go head over to insert, where you have elements. I have text box, buttons, shapes, and images. I'm going to click on buttons, click on this drop down arrow, and I'm looking for a blank button because I want to customize my button. I'm going to click on blank button, and I have this blank button set up here for me. I can either choose to resize it here, make it big, make it small, whatever size I want, or better still, I can just head over here and give it my custom size. And I have my custom size already. I'm going to make it 65 height by 210. That's the size I already have. That's my custom size. And when I do that, I'll just press enter, or I'll click away, and now I have that size. I'll just put that size in the middle. Okay, all right, so I'll just put my button in the middle of my page so I can start. Now right now it's just a blank button and there's nothing in it. Everything is black and just work. All right, so let's start making this. Let's start customizing this. First, we're done with this, with the size and height. I'm going to turn that off, and I'll just scroll down to where we have button style. I'll drop down button style, and the first thing I want to do on that button style is to default. Let's put this on default. The first thing I want to do on button style is to turn on text. I'll turn on text so I can put the text that will be in the button, and I want this to be my button 1. I just type button 1. All right, so at this point you see the text is quite small, and I don't like this. I want it a little big, like 15 points. Nice. I want text 15, and I'm going to make that thick, bold. I'll just make that a little bold for now. I'm going to make that bold. And then the colors, that's the next thing. I want to change the color of the text. I want it to be an outline button, so I will have no fill here. I'll just have the text and an outline. That's what I want for this button. And I want to make it similar color to this, or I can choose to change the color. I want to make it similar color to this. Let's check out this color. I'm going to click on this button, and I'll go back to my button style. I'm looking for fill. I'll click on fill so I can see the color here. I'll copy this hex code. Just Ctrl C here, copy this hex code. All right, so we can make it the same color. So I'm going to click on this text now. All right, and then I'll go to where I have that button style and text. I'm looking for the color of the text. I'll click on this color, and that's the color there. I just click on that, and that becomes the color of the text. Now next, I want the outline to have the same color as this text. I don't like when I have my text screen and I have my outline is just blank, looking black. I'm going to go back there. Now where after my text, I'm going to close, just click on this now, and I'm looking for where you have border, because the border is turned on, but then the color is black. I'll click on black, and I'll make it the same color. Now I have my button now. Now suppose I feel like this outline here is too thin, and I can increase the outline. I can make that. Right now it's, if you look at the border, it's 3 pixels. I can increase that to like 4 pixels, and that becomes a little thick, and that's how it's looking like now. So you can increase that to something you're comfortable with, but majorly I think I'm pretty fine with 4 or 3 pixels whenever I'm designing buttons. All right, now something else I want to note is at this point my button can do little or nothing. If you look at this at this point, I just have a bland button. There's no reaction. I like to say reaction. Before I say reaction, I want to bring in an image to this button, because if you look at the button that I showed you here, you see you have an image. So let's bring in this star or any other image that you like. So first, I have my image downloaded already. So I'm just going to locate where the image is in my machine and go get it. So still in my insert tab, whenever where you have elements, I'm looking for image. I'll click on image, and this opens up my system, and it locates where I have, and I can now locate the folder where I kept my image, and I have all my images here. I'm just going to grab on star edited, and I'll open the image, and boom, the image is here now. I can now start editing, just reduce the size, something small, something I'm comfortable with. I'm going to put that here. And now that this is something I have to do now. I have to zoom in so I can really place the image where I want to place it. I'm going to zoom in now, and so I can move the image there. I think I need to zoom in some more. I've successfully put the button the way I want it to be in the middle. The sizing is okay at this point. So I'm going to do some other things to this button. I want to have it react whenever I hover. I want that right now. You notice when I hover, nothing happens. But I want it to on hover, I want it to react. Okay, so when I hover, I show off something. I'm going to click on the button now, head over to where I have button style, and this time I'm going to change where you have state. The button state, that is a default state. Just before we do that, something that I want to do is, I don't like the border being 4 point. Is too thick for me. I'm not happy with that. I'm going to make that 3 point. I'm happy with 3 point. Yeah. So I'm going to go to states. I'll change the states where you have button state. This is a default state. I'm going to change the default state to on hover. So now on hover, what do I want to see? On hover, I want this button to show a small rectangle. So on hover, I'll have just a small, you notice that small rectangle there, that small rectangle when I hover. So when I hover, I have a small rectangle, but when I press, I want to have even an even bigger rectangle. Okay, so on hover, I have a small rectangle. So on press, what do I want to have? I go back to the state. I'll change the state to press. On press. So on press, I want to have an even bigger rounded rectangle. So look at what happens now. I go on hover, I have small rectangle. On press, the rectangle the curve becomes even more. Look, let's try that again. On hover, you see I have this curved edge rectangle. Then when I press on the button, I have an even more curved rectangle. This is what I want to have. All right, this is beautiful now. All right, so now that I'm done with the first button, so I'm going to copy this again. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and I'll just place that here. Okay, so I have the same button. This time I'll go ahead over to my insert, and I'll bring back my image. Now I'm doing this, I would have corrected that, but for those of us that are seeing this for the first time, it may be confusing. I'm trying not to confuse you. I'm going to go there, select the star, and I'll delete this. I'll just place this here. Okay, I'm going to zoom in using my control and my scroll bar. I'm just zooming in and out. I'll zoom in and out. Okay, and I can now place some more, place it where I want it to be. I'll just move it closer. Sorry, I'll just click on this and just move it closer. It looks small in my eyes, increase that a little. Just make that a little big. Let me zoom in some more, and I'll just increase that. Right, I think I'm up with the size here. Just put that somewhere here. All right, let's say I'm happy with this, the way it is like this. Okay, I'll have to turn off this snap to grid, so it won't snap. It will allow me to put it where I want it to be, because if that snap to grid is still there, each time I try to place my button where I want to be, it will be snapping to where you have grid lines, and that will really affect what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to move this a little away. All right, I'm happy with this now. I'm going to zoom out. with my control and scroll bar again. I'm just zoom out some more, zoom out some more. All right, I'm happy with this like this. Okay, now I'm going to click on this button so I can start customizing this button. I go to button style. This is why the text wasn't changing. Notice that this button is showing state. The state is on press. Look at on press. So whatever I do now will only be affected when I click on the button. All right. So I want to change the state back to default, because the state of this other button was on default, not it was on press when we copy it. Let me see. Okay, it is default now. All right, so this will copy the state on press, so I'll change it back to default. And now I'm going to scroll down. First I want to go to where I have button style, and okay, I changed it to default. And now I'm going to change the text to button 2 instead of button 1. And now I see it's changing. Now I'm going to change the color to white. All right, now the button, the text now is now white. And something, I'm going to scroll down some more, and I'm going to turn on my fill color, and I'll turn off my border. And this time I'm going to put my fill to be the same green color so the white can show. And the transparency is 50%. I'm going to reduce that to 0. So I have the full, the full color. And I think I'm pretty much done. If I go now to, I have the same effect as I have in this button. I want to change that effect, because when you look at this, on hover I have the same effect on hover here, and when I press I have the same effect on press. But let me change this effect so I have something different. So when I click on this, I head over to where I have apply settings to state, button state, or changes to on hover. So on hover I want to have like let's say a parallelogram. So that when I hover on this, I have this parallelogram. Then on press, I like to have, let's say on press, I should have something like an octagon. Look at what happens when I go on press, I have an octagon. But on hover, I have a parallelogram. When I press, I have an octagon. Isn't this beautiful? So I've customized this button, these buttons with, I have my shapes in it, my pictures in it, and they are both customizable. Now I can now go and put the action of the button. For example, I can click on this button when I'm ready, and I can go to where you have action and turn on action when I'm ready, and I can start doing all my customization. But the aim of this lesson was just to show us how we can design beautiful buttons for our Power BI project. And if you like what I've done, if you've learned anything, please subscribe, share, like, and if you have a question, please, you can use the comment section and I'll do my best to respond to your comment. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.